Welcome inside another edition of Ground Rules, the Georgia Tech baseball podcast. We're joined by a couple of Yellow Jacket hitters this week, Drew Compton and Colin Hall. And guys, first and foremost, thanks for hopping in here with us.
Of course. Anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Well, let's start with this. Going back to last year, Colin, I know you had that season cut short due to injury, got in a couple games, like one in April, and then the last couple games of the season there in the Nashville Regional. How are you feeling physically and health-wise?
Feeling great. I got a cool opportunity after the season to work with a guy that knows a lot about LDOA exercises and kind of got my body right to be able to last the whole season, and I'm just excited to be healthy and carry it out.
What did you say, LDOA exercises?
LDOA.
Mm-hmm. LDOA, what is that?
It's like all different lumbar movements in your spine, and it's just it's very unique. I'm not smart enough to understand it, but I know how to do it.
Fair enough. All right. What about you, Drew? You feeling good?
Feeling great. Really excited. Team looks great. Defense looks great. Pitching looks great. Hitting all facets of the game, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the defense, too. I mean, you're going to have a chance to play some third base this year. I know it's a spot you've played at before, obviously. How would you assess your comfort at that spot right now?
Really comfortable. All through high school I played it. A little bit here and there, but just getting all my reps there, all the inner squads in the game, just really make me more comfortable. And working with Hall, he's been really focusing on infield and all that stuff, and he's getting us a lot better.
Now, you guys have some new faces on the infield too. I mean, Luke Waddell obviously leaving, Austin Wellhite wrapping up last year as well, so the middle's going to look different. Looks like John Anderson and Chandler Simpson are going to be at second and short. Tell me about Chandler Simpson's speed. I've heard about it. Is he as fast as they say he is?
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
I swear every time he gets on base, it's second, third. It's incredible. It's awesome.
He's got generational speed. I mean, you probably see a guy like that in college baseball once every 10 years. Him and Enrique Bradfield, I mean, they're ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, and that kind of takes me to the next topic, which is this offense, right? I mean, look, Georgia Tech's always been known for having a really good offense. We talked about that with Chance and Zach last week about how, they want to make sure pitching is part of that conversation too. But I don't think there's no lack of talent in this group, that's for sure. There's no lack of experience. Returned almost everybody from last year. How do you guys put into words Georgia Tech's offensive philosophy under Coach Hall and under Coach Ramsey?
Yeah, I think we're just ultra competitive, and the way we train is so unique. I don't think there's a program out in the country that trains as hard as we do as offensively and just challenge. The coaches do a great job challenging us. It's honestly not a lot of fun when you come out here to practice. You're going to get challenged, and it's going to be hard. So I think it just makes the game that much easier. It slows down that much more for us. And, I think we're going to be able to explode again this year and put up some really good numbers.
Yeah, I think another big thing is 1 through 9. It's like every single spot's a really strong hitter, and that's really impressive and fun to be around.
All right, so let's lay out this scenario. Let's say Chandler or Tress or maybe even you, Colin, are on base and looking to take second. How does that affect you as a hitter? How comfortable are you guys with aggressive base running? Does that affect you at all in the box?
It makes you more confident having a guy on second, honestly. Just that hit turns into a run instead of it being first and third. It's just easier to score runs.
How about you, Colin?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think our guys are pretty smart on the base path. If we're in a plus count or something that we know we're going to get a good pitch, they'll usually hold off. I mean, Chandler, he might go first pitch every time.
Fair enough.
So it doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah, and again, offensively, I know Mark Teixeira came by before the season started, sat down with you. He's got his name in the locker room, of course. One of the all-time greats here at Georgia Tech. Drew, let's start with you. Did you learn anything specifically from that conversation he had?
100% everything he said. His couple main takeaways was just confidence, positive self-talk. I think everyone who sat down and heard him in that meeting took a lot of things from that. And I thought it was great for us to hear what he had to say.
And Colin, I know you've known Tex. How long? How long have you known Mark Teixeira?
Oh man, probably before I could say my own name.
Because as I understand, you were born fall '98?
'98.
His freshman year was spring of '99, right? So you guys kind of showed up around here at the same time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome just to always be around him. I got a cool opportunity with my dad and family. We got to go up to New York, and I think I was going in my freshman year of high school. It's probably one of his last years playing, and we got to go in the dugout, we got to talk to him before the game, and it's just always been cool to kind of see him in that environment, and then to have him come here and talk to us and share everything he's learned. I mean, it probably doesn't get any better than that. A guy as knowledgeable as that.
Is there a piece of advice he gave you at some point along the way that's really stuck with you specifically?
Yeah, I think it's just trusting the process. It's a long season, and there's going to be so many ups and downs, but kind of what Compton was talking about, just being able to reaffirm that positive self-talk and really just trust that, I think has gone a long way for myself and many others.
Did he give you any specific switch hitting tips or give you any guidance as far as how to maintain two swings?
Someone asked about his routine,
okay.
And he mentioned 20 swings both sides from the tee and then BP, and sometimes like when he's hot, he just do a show and go, like not take any swings before the game, which is kind of funny. I've never even thought of doing that, but
okay.
Yeah, he just keeps it consistent, which is the biggest thing. So I took that from that.
You think are you going to take his routine too?
We'll see. See what Ramsey lets me do.
Well, I mean, and again, you're from. I mean, I guess in some ways, some would argue everywhere's Yankee territory. But you're up from New Jersey. Did you grow up a Yankee fan? Did you grow up a Teixeira fan?
Huge Teixeira fan. Number 25. That's why I'm number 25.
No kidding.
Yeah, him and Bonds are my main reason for being 25.
Well, how cool is it being 25 at Mark Teixeira's alma mater?
Yeah.
Like, was that a big factor for you coming here?
When I was little, I always remember seeing him at games, going to games all the time with my dad, and it was surreal at first. Seeing, I was like, no way, like that's the guy.
So did you know he went to Georgia Tech before you visited here?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was on your radar from an early part. Okay,
definitely.
gotcha. So you would classify yourself as a Yankee fan?
Huge Yankee.
Huge Yankee fan. So who's your all-time favorite Yankee?
All-time favorite. I mean, you got to go with Jeter, obviously.
Yeah.
But nowadays, a lot of Yankee fans say Judge.
Okay.
He's absolute monster.
Okay.
He's like the Hulk. Watching hit. It's crazy, his power. But I would say those two are the biggest.
Okay, I gotcha. And then Colin, what about, I mean, you got the Braves hat on, defending world champs. I know a lot of people are happy about that. Who's your favorite Brave of all time?
Favorite Brave of all time? Probably Chipper Jones. I got to watch him play a bunch, and we always get a chance to get some really good seats at those games, so we always kind of see Chipper sneaking around in the VIP area, and he'll always come say hi. So I've always kind of have that starstruck factor. Just a great player, loved watching him play, and yeah, definitely Chipper Jones.
Is there a boost for you guys playing here in Atlanta after they won the World Series? Is there like, hey, this is the home of the world champions?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think that winning environment and just being able to be a part of it, kind of watch it from up close and far away, I think that's something that motivates us to try and push for the ring this year.
Yeah. I know we're a few games into the season at this point, but as far as the fall and the preseason and getting a chance to look at this pitching staff, I want you guys to tell me who's, for you individually, the toughest pitcher you face in inter squads.
I would say, Maxwell. He throws 100. He's a wipe-out slider. I mean, he's been unreal.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's never a fun at-bat.
No.
Like, you got to be locked in, and get lucky a couple times if he throws you a good pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's probably Joseph Manley. He's throwing from a new arm slot this year, and I'm so used to seeing him from up here, and now he's dropping down. I feel like I'm going to get plunked in the face every time. So it's hard for not to want to bail out, but I think he probably gives me my toughest at-bats.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay. Well, I kind of want to step away from baseball now and kind of get to know a little bit more about you guys and how you like to spend your free time. So I'll go ahead and start with a tip I got from our guests last week, Chance Huff and Zach Maxwell. They said Colin Hall, bar none, best Fortnite player on the team. Actually, before fact or fiction? Is that true?
Sometimes. No, yeah, that's definitely true. He's tough to play with or against on the sticks, as they call it.
I think he's being too humble. I think.
Are you guys the guys?
Yeah, Compton's the guy. His name on PlayStation is Foolish Bucker.
Yep.
So.
Okay.
I think he's the best. He's just being humble.
Okay. Well, good for you.
Some other people would say that as well, I'm sure.
Some might call him a phenom.
John Anderson and Jake DeLeo definitely know. He's the best in the room.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah, that's fast.
Do you got a Twitch stream yet?
I'm working on it.
You're working on it?
It's in the process, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Maybe next off season I'll get it rolling.
Yeah, you're getting your people on it, I guess. Okay. What other games are in the repertoire?
I don't know.
Last season it was the show.
Oh yeah.
We're roommates on away games, and we both bring our consoles and we just grind the show. And it honestly got us pretty locked in.
Yeah,
I like doing that.
He was. I mean, as soon as he started playing the show on road trips, he was back to just doing his normal thing, just crushing baseballs.
Well, okay, so yeah, and I want to go there too because I mean, you had a phenomenal start to the season. I know April, and you weren't the only one, but April as a whole was a little down offensively for almost everybody. Tell me about, was there a key or a thought that you had that you felt like turned things around? I think a lot of folks would circle that walk-off homer against Carolina. A lot of people would circle that walk-off home run against Carolina. And the second to last game of the regular season is kind of, okay, here comes Drew Compton.
Yep. The biggest thing, honestly, is like not thinking. Obviously, everyone knows struggling in baseball, you're thinking, oh, how am I going to get out of this? Take more swings, what am I doing? It's just a bad feeling. And as you get past that and just calm down, just try to do your job, a couple pinch hit at bats, just try to see the ball more, and then a couple good at bats, and you start rolling, and you just take off. The biggest thing is just clear-headed at the plate.
I got a stat for you, and I don't think you've heard this yet. And Colin, I'm actually curious because you've got a really good sense of the Georgia Tech baseball history. You had 4 home runs in the NCAA tournament, okay?
Uh-huh.
There's only 2 other players in Georgia Tech baseball history who have hit 4 home runs in a single NCAA tournament. Colin, either you guys have any idea who the other 2 might be?
I've got a couple guesses.
Okay,
I'll give you 2 guesses.
Okay.
My first one's going to be Mark Teixeira.
Not Mark Teixeira.
My second one is Nomar Garciaparra.
That's one of them.
Well, that was going to be my guess.
Okay, you got any others? It's a name.
Veritek?
No, same position.
Weeders?
Wow.
Oh.
So a big weekend. I know, obviously, that that's hopefully that's a record. We can have a couple people approach, and because I mean, Nomar did it in the trip to Omaha in '94, so he had a few more games than you did. But look, I mean, one of the moments of the season, I know it ultimately came in a loss, was that 9th inning, 2 outs, season hanging in the balance, home run. I want to hear your version of that, and I want to hear your version of that. So let's start with Drew. I mean, what's your mindset in the box?
I was talking to Ramsey before, and he was telling me stories. He's always telling stories about him in the minors. I love hearing them. They help. And so he's saying when I'm facing guys 101, 102, they don't know where it's going. This guy he didn't really have a breaking ball at the time. So he's just firing at 97, 98. He's like, just be quick. Like, don't think long, strong, just be quick, just hands. So that's all that I thought. And then first pitch, foul, a little late. So I'm like, all right, just be quick. The second pitch, got to it. And then I didn't think it was going to go out, but then it somehow did.
You want to throw one of the most entertaining games, I think, of the entire NCAA tournament was that regional final against Vandy. Colin, what about you? Were you in the dugout or you weren't on deck, were you?
I was in the dugout, I think, at that
okay.
point. Yeah, I mean, that kid was throwing gas. He was throwing as hard as Maxwell does. And I think I had hit off him earlier and lined out on a curveball or something. It's like an 8-pitch at bat. Going back to the dugout, and after that inning where we gave up some runs, we're like all kind of like, God, it's coming down to this right here. And out of nowhere, he just puts that swing on that ball. First of all, it was like a pitcher's pitch. I mean, it's up outside the zone, and he hits it. I'm like, oh man, that might have a chance. And me and Luke are like grabbing each other. We're like, no way. Goes out, and we just start going crazy. Unbelievable swing. I think Compton's probably one of the only guys on the team that could hit a fastball like that.
I know obviously it wasn't the end of the season that you guys had in mind, but what do you think this team learned from that weekend? And I'd even go back earlier, that win against Louisville in the ACC tournament and the way you guys finished the season. I mean, I think, on May 1st, there was some work to be done to finish up the season strong, and you guys didn't just do that. I mean, you had a sweep against Clemson, won the head-to-head against UNC to win the division. I mean, how much did this team grow up, you think, in that month, especially for you, Drew, because your class has kind of been stunted in a lot of ways because you kind of had a false start your freshman year and then your sophomores, but you're really going through your first ACC season. What did that do for your class?
It's a learning period at first. I think we only had one ACC series my first year.
That was it, Virginia Tech.
Just one. And so you really feel like a freshman again.
Yeah.
Like, after one series, you don't know much. And so just having those continuous series, getting that experience was huge for our class. Everyone learned, and as the season went on, Jenkins balled out. Everyone started balling out. It was just having that experience and just feeling more comfortable.
And Colin, and I'm curious for your perspective on both 2019 and last year. Was there a moment in either season where you kind of looked around and said, "Hey, like, we're moving right now. Like, we're going"?
Yeah. 2019. Those ACC wins just kept stacking up. It's like, all right, we're on a roll here. We got three ACC wins in a row now, or 3 series wins, and it just kept going and going and going. And then last year, I think the big turning point was we lost me and Finley, and so we kind of were up and down for the next couple weeks and maybe even the month. And I forget what series it was. I think it was after the FSU loss where we really turned it up and started playing good baseball again. I think everybody just kind of formed around each other, and I think we were able to build a good just team just off of what we had left, and our guys played tremendous. And of course we get put in a Vanderbilt regional with a loaded Vanderbilt team, and I don't think any other team in the country honestly would have played them as close as we did.
Tell me about being a student athlete at Georgia Tech, and what do you guys like to do outside of baseball, outside of class? Like, I mean, I know that Atlanta is a constantly evolving city. There's new restaurants and new places all over town. Where do you guys like to spend your time?
I would say outside of like lifting and all that. Yeah. Outside the classroom.
Not a lot of time.
No, there's not too much time. Like we were saying, video games, going out to eat with each other, Marlowe's a couple times.
Great
down
spot.
the street. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
From there.
Yeah.
Tico's.
Yeah. You guys play any ping pong? I've heard ping pong is a big part of things now.
Ping pong is taking off in the GT locker room. That is for sure.
Give me a. Is it like do you guys have a bracket, regular season? I mean, give me the full lowdown. How's this playing out? Are you like the commissioner of ping pong?
That's all
I'm not the commish, but
who is the commish?
Maybe Tress, I guess.
I think Tress might be the commish. Okay.
We've got kind of like a leaderboard right now, and the way it works, it's like a ladder system. So, I mean, I was number one. I had my number one spot for a little bit. I think I held that for 5 days.
Did you lose?
I lost to Tress.
Oh.
When was this?
Tress gives me trouble. I lost to Tress a couple days ago. I've lost twice to him now, actually, so I'm going through it. But I'm going to come back for him. He doesn't know what's coming. Don't worry about it. He doesn't know what's coming.
All right, we've got an audience-submitted question now. I want to hear your best James Ramsey impression.
I might have to run some laps for this. I don't know if I can do this one.
Impression. I mean,
hey, if behind the mic, we can edit this. If it's like we can't do it, we won't do it. But I mean,
there's a lot of stories.
I don't think I can.
All right, let's do our best James Ramsey story. All right, well, Drew, you were talking about the James Ramsey minor league stories. I want some James Ramsey impressions.
Yeah, we're all about grit on this team. We have shirts after it. So one of his big things in the box is like when you're hitting in the back of your ear, you hear him at third base going, grind him. and it locks you in. It really does.
I feel like by the end of the year, it wasn't just him doing that.
Oh, I mean, you got the whole dugout doing it. As soon as he says it, it's like minions are in the back just echoing him.
I think Brent Herter really enjoyed it.
He did. Brent was a big grind him enthusiast.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, can you give me a James Ramsey minor league baseball story?
Honestly, I like his stories. They're informational. Obviously, he's a great player. You want to listen to everything he said in college and throughout the minor leagues. It's a big thing, him talk about his mindset and his success and transferring it to us is very helpful for us, me personally as well. And so just all those stories stacked together.
I think my favorite story is he was facing Mike Fultonevich. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's nonsense. But he was up with the Braves. I think he might have had an all-star year. Got sent down, and Ramsey was playing, and he was still throwing 100 miles per hour. And Ramsey just telling a story about how he hit a Oppo home run off of him. And honestly, it's probably one of the best stories he's got. It's fired me up.
I'm going to have to ask him about that if we ever get him on here.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I will. What speaking of, what's been your favorite memory from your time at Georgia Tech? I know you obviously still got a full year left, but
yeah, I think I got a couple. I mean, I can't really decide between these two. For me, one of them is the Kyle McCann walk-off against UCLA in 2019. And then it's kind of just a collective memory, just the regional atmosphere. I mean, we had packed house that Friday night against
Florida A&M.
Florida A&M, and I've never really been able to experience that at home, that crowd, and just, you know, everybody there supporting us. I think that's the goal this year for us, is to be able to host a regional and get that feeling one more time. And I think just that is probably the coolest thing I've ever been a part of, is just being able to see that and play.
And the good news is there's plenty of home games coming up. You've got Gardner-Webb this weekend. George will be in town Friday night, March 4th. And those first two ACC weekends are also here at McNeese Baseball Park. So, again, we like to end with this. Give me your best pitch. Why do Georgia Tech fans need to come out this weekend or sometime in the future to come see this team play?
I say we got the best skyline, best field, best stadium that you can get around here, and honestly in the country. And it's a great time, it's great baseball, and hopefully you can see us get some wins, some big wins.
Yeah, on top of that, if you are of the legal drinking age, they do sell alcohol at our game, so you can come get rowdy with friends and have a good time.
Needn't say any more. That's Colin Hall, Drew Compton joining us here on Ground Rules Georgia Tech Baseball Podcast. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it and look forward to seeing you in action, not just this weekend, but the whole year.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Wiley. Thanks for having us.
All right. Georgia Tech Baseball back in action against Gardner-Webb this weekend here at home.